We're out to find broken, useless websites and give them a purpose to grow your business. Hello, I'm David, and welcome to the first episode of the Balsam Broadband Web Design episode series. So this is the first episode of the series, and we are going to be making designing a website, taking our first draft, using a pre-made layout. So our objective for this first episode is to get our content, text and images into the pre-made web design layout, and then in the next episodes we will fine-tune our design. So as you can see on your screen, we're using a free layout called from Internet Service Pack Provider. Now, our website is not necessarily an ISP, but they are trying to communicate the importance of fiber optics. So this is a really good layout, I think, that's going to communicate what they're trying to communicate. It kind of associates. So we were able to draw some parallels between what the customer is doing and what this pre-made layout has. So let's get started. Here's a close-up view of the layout. There's a nice green back, hover, kind of looks techie looking. We did find a pretty good header image that we'll try to use, and we maybe we'll just tone it back. So I kind of like the technology look of this, but a background image might make it look better. So we're gonna image for that, and then of course, so again, this is another website that doesn't have a logo, so we'll just probably put the name big at the top and the purpose there. I like the call to action. Why choose us? We don't really have, well, this might be why choose fiber. And that's kind of the mission here. And then these sections here we can use for to talk a little bit more about it, to empathize with the customer. And then the next section would be the authority. I saw one of the other layouts had some stats in it, so this might be a good place to bring in some stats underneath this section here. We're not going to be using this section at all. This has to do with pricing and that type of thing. We're not selling anything for this web design. We are just trying to give people a chance to sign up to a newsletter and to get more information. We will have some additional articles from other websites. So this little area here will kind of mimic this as something that we can link to reference material, other websites. And then we don't have any testimonials for this section, but we could put in some FAQs. Might be neat if we can get it to lay out kind of like this. We'll see what we can do with that. And then the footer section, this will be great. And then the button will just be, to sign up for the newsletter. So that's kind of our overall plan for this video. And so let's get started. So here we are on our temporary URL. We've got the website installed, ready to go. I've already got some pictures loaded, you can see. So we're going to start with a new page. And the first thing we're going to do is put in a title. And also, since we don't have a logo, we're going to change the template while we're here. So we can go to page attributes, go to template, and then the drop down we're going to click blank. So we'll go ahead and publish that. And then we're going to click on the purple button, use DV Builder. When our choices come up, we're going to click on browse layouts in the middle. And over in the search box, we are looking for the free internet service. So here's our internet service provider. So from the internet service provider layout packets, we want to use the landing page layout, which we can see is down here, the ISP landing page. We'll click on that one, and then we'll click on use this layout. Okay, now that our pre-made layout is loaded, we're ready to start putting in our content. So really kind of the strategy here with this website, the one-liner is internet for every family member. So we want to put that text here on the screen. And we're going to come in and we're going to just put it in this top banner here. We're not going to need that information about the cost, so we can delete that. I'm going to go and click on the text module, and then in between the H1 tags, I'll paste in our tagline, enough internet for every family member. Okay, so it's a little too big, so we'll go to Design, Heading Text, H1. It's using the Poppins font, so it's kind of cool. We'll need to know that later. So we'll just bring the size down. Enough internet for every family member. That looks great. And then we're going to put the name of this organization in the text underneath. So we'll go to Content, Text. Oh, okay, so it's not there. It's in a separate module. So we'll go down to the other module, click the gear. We want to make that a little bit bigger. So we'll go to Text. So this is the name. So really what this is it's internet for the Balsam Mountain area. So what we're going to do is we need to modify this text a little bit there. So really it's broadband fiber optics, broadband internet access for the Balsam Mountain area, okay, which is up in North Carolina. Okay, I believe that's correct. Okay, so then we've got our text in. Then we'll go to the text tab, and we're going to increase the font size here just a little bit, and save that. Okay. And again, the goal is to get them allow people to sign up for a newsletter so they can get more information. So the call to action is get Balsam broadband updates. We'll save that. So that's looking pretty good already. Let's put in our background image. So we'll click on the gear for the header section, click background, and then we'll click on the image tab. And we've got some kids on a couch all playing a device, so we can put that in. Alright, looks like our little text gets almost lost. We could probably switch that out to black, but the big font is looking good. And I think that really communicates the message. And we've got a nice transition on the bottom, so that looks great. So let's edit this text here. So we'll click on the module, we'll click on the gear, design, text. Change it to black. It still kind of gets lost in certain places. We can increase the font size. Then we also can put a drop shadow on it, but then we'll need to turn it white at 100%. And that kind of makes it jump off. We also could make it bold. So the smaller the font is, the bolder we can make it. Alright, so the white is needs to be a little bit softer. We can also adjust the blur so that it's subtle. Alright, that looks really readable. Okay, there's our first section is completed. Okay, so there's a little section here. I didn't see this before. This is actually really great. We can make this kind of like what's at stake here. So we've got two things, shareable internet and faster downloads. But let's see. So this is in a little box. Sign up here. We got the button here. This is more of a secondary call to action. Let's see if we can make it to our advantage and make this into 2 columns. So we've got kind of a bubble in the background, gradient. And then we'll just change the text on this one. Go to the text, paste. Oops. So let's make that font bigger. These could be H2s, so we can do that as well. So if we go to visual, select the text, and then the drop down, we can change that to a H2. That'll make it bigger. And then we can duplicate this one. And then drag one into the other column. And then we just want to change this text. Faster downloads. Okay, but you see it kind of messed up our fonts. We'll go to the text tab, and then we'll paste it in the text area. That way we don't lose our font. Oh, there we go. Alright, so that's what's at stake here. Shareable internet and faster downloads. Alright, so we're ready for the next section, which is our value proposition. So the title here, we want let fiber be the peacemaker, because everybody fights over internet access, at least in my house. Okay, so we're going to come in and we will, again, let's go to the text tab, and this is an H2. There's our title. So let's see, this has 3 callouts in here, but I really only have 1 statement, so I wonder if it would be nice if we had 3, if it would match up with the layout. So let's move on. Let's skip this section for now, because I don't think it really matches up with what we're trying to do. We need a single column. Actually, or we could just start here in this section. So let's put our text here. Actually, that's not the text we want to put there, sorry. So let's put that down below, and then we're going to put our other title with the Fiverr be our peacemaker. We'll put that back into the top part here where the H2 is. Okay, and then solve your family's internet problems. Okay, we'll save that. We're going to hide this, go back and just hide this section for now. So we'll click on the triple dot, and then we'll click disable, and then mobile, tablet. Okay, I'm also going to move this down the page. We may use it later for something else, so I'm going to move it down below. Okay, so coming down, we have our box here about what's at stake. Okay, then we have let Fiverr be the peacemaker. Now these little call outs we need to do something with those. But again, I don't think we have the right section. So what we can do is we can move this row up. Right, because this has got the bullets already set up on it. And we have some things we want to put in bullets. So this is gonna, we'll swap this out one more time. Copy. Alright. So we'll bring that back up here instead. We don't need the H3 they have listed there. And so this button really was kind of designed to be like after the fact, so but I see there's already one there. Okay. So let's change this button to our call to action, which is the get Balsam Broadband. Okay. And then we're going to save this button to our library because this is the one we're going to use over and over again. And I'll just put the same text into the library item is what's on the button, so I know exactly what it is. And then I click the check the box that says make this a global item and save to library. Okay, this font is really small, I can already tell. We can change that globally though, so we'll come back to that. So let's check this font here is, so this is an H2. Is that using the, that's using the Poppins, okay. Alright, so here's where we want to put the next bit of text. So we'll click the gear, and then on the text tab between the H tags, we will paste our header. And then we'll add our little paragraph underneath. I have one more section of content here. I think that's what's going on, is I have 3 sections. There's 3 sections here, there's one underneath. So really I'd like to put that last, put this section at the bottom. Oops. Okay, so I'm going to put that down here instead. So I'm doing it a little bit of different order than what I have it laid out. But that's because I'm trying to just kind of accommodate or just trying to leverage the layout the best way possible. Okay, so then I'm going to go back up to this section, which is going to be my next one in my document, but I'm going back up in the layout. So again, in the text field area, paste between the heading tags. I don't really have any subtext for this one, so I'm going to delete those paragraphs, and then we're just going to have these bullets. See how these work out for us. Okay, those look pretty good. And then, so this button here, we're just going to delete the button, and then we're going to add our one from the library. So we click the gray circle add module button. Then we click on add from library. And there we go. There's our blue button that we had up here. So it's the same one. And then we have our third section of content down below. And again, this text I think is too small, but we'll bump that up in the theme customizer. Okay, so now we've got, I know that took a little bit of rearranging, so not enough internet to share, and then this is kind of an empathy statement with us. We got our button, and then get fiber. Okay, so we've got the title twice down here, not enough to share, so we missed something here. Oh, here it is. Okay, so the last one is going to be kind of our first text of the section. So we'll put it in instead. Let fiber be the peacemaker. That's the one we kind of lost. And this is kind of cool because it's like kind of the solution to the problem here. Alright, let fiber be there. So now all three of these are different. So not enough internet to share, get fiber optic internet, some information about it, let fiber be the peacemaker. Okay, so we've got all those sections in, just in a different order than what I had planned. Okay, so this next section, I know what we can use this for. Quite simply, we can use this as the how to sign up section. So I'm going to go back and re-enable that one, click the little triple dot, and then enable the mobile desktop icons, tablet icons. And to make the little gray drop down menu go away, I click on the little triple dot to make it go away. Okay. Okay, so here we just want to make it really simple for them to understand how to sign up. So it's going to be click the button, and then step 2 is enter their email address. And then we're just going to delete the text underneath. I'm not sure we have the right icons here. Or what else is available. These kind of look like default icons. So maybe if we had a mouse cursor, we can go back, click on the gear, image icon. Yeah, so we're just using some default ones here. So let's see if there's a mouse icon. Here it is right here. Oh, Click on the button, enter your email. So an email icon would be great if we had one of those. Which I think we can just kind of use this envelope. I think will work. Actually, the envelope would work really great for the last one here, but I'm not sure what we would do for the email instead. So let's see what else is available. Oh, we could use the writing for that one and then put the email. So if they're receiving it, we could put that one as last. So we'll go change this one to writing. So they're filling it out. So they click the button, they fill out the form with their email address and receive information. So that's really cool and simple. Alright, in the next section, so this is, I see there's a little background here, and I know we used it up above, so it kind of has a purpose. Let's see. So let's just see if we just have one text statement we can use. So we'll change this just to a one column, and then put a text module back in. Here's our statement. So we'll go to design, text, and I'm just going to increase the font size. And change the line height. I don't mind it being the left because we got the gray box over on the side, so that looks great. So I'm just going to save that. Okay, this section here, we don't have any pricing, but I like this green background breakup if we're just kind of following along there. So quite simply, so we're going to delete all of these modules here and change this column. We'll click on the columns icon, change that to one column, and I'd like to embed a YouTube video here which talks about fiber optics. See if there's a video module. Click that. And then I've got the URL here on my clipboard. Okay, so we're going to go to the settings. So hovering over the image, we click on setting, the gear, and this is insert from URL over in the left column. We can select the YouTube link. I'm going to go back to choose a video format. Okay, so it's unselected. I got the YouTube there, insert in the post. All right. Okay, and we're going to save that. So the green doesn't really match up with the background video. Sometimes black is just kind of works better, but we've got all green icons and blue, so I'm going to kind of leave that color. We could go with a dark blue. We got a light gray up here and blue buttons. We definitely want to make blue because we've already got blue buttons. So we'll leave the green background as it is for now. And that's really the bulk of the content we have. So we're going to see, but we should have some more reference material to put in here. So I got to get that, and then the last part is going to be call to action, which is the same as the top. So we're going to put that statement in again. Actually, we could just copy the one from the top. We'll duplicate this one from the header, and then we're going to drag it to the bottom so we don't have to go through all that styling again, right? Okay, so we're going to change this into a little, actually we don't even need this. We're going to delete this module, and then we want to use our button, so we're going to click on the add module button, go to the add from library column, and then click on our global button option. So this one is aligned left, so we're going to need to center this, or I'm going to delete the old one. Let's just see if we can center this and see how that affects the other sections. Are you frustrated with trying to write content for your website, learn the web design software, and overcome all the technology challenges to get the website launched? We understand what it's like to spend hours writing, designing, and launching a website. Don't waste your time and money on something that you don't enjoy. We can easily walk you through an affordable process of creating a web design with a purpose. You will be stress-free and feel like a successful business person. All you have to do to get started is visit shepherdsloft.com and book a free web design with a purpose appointment. So here, this should have been centered here. It looks a little off, but it's consistent. We need another one here, so we need to duplicate our call to action button here, and then we're going to drag a copy of it to right under the how to get started section. And actually this text would look better if it was on top. Okay, so we're going to add another row to put our button in, and it'll be a single column. And then we can put our button up here underneath the how to get started. And then this section here with the content, let's put it under the title. So it looks like we might have to do some fancy rearranging. So we're going to add a new, we want to move this row. I think this will need a new section actually. So we're going to do, click on the blue button to add a new section. That'll be a regular full width. And then we can put this row in there. So we'll have to divide it out so that we can move it around and arrange it in the order we want. I'm going to delete the empty column. And then I can put this title on top. And then we just need to adjust our spacing. Alright, how to get started, and then we've got we're here to help, and then we've got the instructions, and then we got the button right underneath. Then we've got this explainer video, which would be nice if we kind of knew. I see there's a little title here, fiber optic tour, 4 terabyte internet. So learn more about fiber optics. So we can add a new little section by clicking the green button, or add a new row, and then we'll get let's actually use one of our other text modules that's already styled. See if we have one here. So we'll make a copy of this one by hitting the duplicate button, and then we can click and drag this down here. That's in this row, and then we're going to put this row on top. Right. So we're clicking on the gear. We're going to go to the design options, and actually in the search we can type in the word light. That reverses it out. Click the green checkbox to save. Okay, and then we just want to adjust the spacing so that's a little tighter together. So we're looking for the same amount of space on the top and bottom of the title, and then we need to actually rewrite the title. So we'll come in between the tags. Learn more about fiber optics for broadband internet. This is usually why I copy and paste. Okay, so learn more about fiber optics for broadband internet. Okay, so, and we got this cool little video to watch. Okay, so this little section here, so we still got to go get that content. And I don't believe we have any FAQs. We definitely don't have any testimonials. So we're going to hide this section. Click on the triple dot, the vertical dots, disable mobile, tablet, desktop, and then click on the vertical dots again. Okay, and then again, here's our button. I'm going to click on add module, add from library tab, choose our global button. Okay. And then we're going to go back and center this button. Okay. I'm going to click save. And while that's saving, I'm going to go look for some of our reference content. Okay, so on my other screen I've got this reference website. It's kind of showing where the fixed broadband deployment is. So we're going to put that in as a link. So this is using the module tab. So what we'll have to do is we'll have to remove this module and then add our own. And actually, we may even need 3 columns if we wanted to lay out. Let me see how many sections we have. We actually have 2, 3. We actually have 4. So we want to make a row that has. So click on the green dot, add a new row. Then we can do 4 columns, which is here, right? And then we're going to do text. Actually, can use a button, so we'll delete that module and we'll use the button module. And we'll put in the title of the website and then the link. And that'll open up in a new tab. So under the button link target, we'll change that to new tab. Okay, so we don't have a kind of any description of what we're doing here. So it's not our blog. So this is really reference content. So fiber optic or broadband references. Okay. So we'll have to have a new row to put our button on the bottom. Actually, we don't need a button here because they can actually click and go read these articles. So we've got a button here under the how to get started, which is great. Got a button here and a button here, so there's 1, 2, 3, and then we got one there, so we can just delete this one. Okay. Okay, so our next reference website it's about fiber. And the title is a fiber connection can increase home value. And then we will go to link, and under the button link URL we'll paste that in, and our button link target we'll change that to new tab and save. Alright, so our next one here oops, I just put the link in there. So our next article is fiber broadband. So let me put our link in first. I'll put that in the button link URL, and that'll be a new tab. And I'll come back to the text, and I'm just going to copy the title. And save that one. And so our fourth one here, I'll do a button module, and then put the button link URL in, new tab, and then I'll go back to the text. And this is fiber versus cable speed. And then I'll save that one. Okay. So those are the 4 reference materials that we have. And that's it. We've completed all the content, or added all the content. We didn't swap out any of these pictures here. These are actually pretty cool. I don't know if you can speed. So the only thing we haven't done here is talk about the actual area. So I think what we'll need to do is gather up some content about the area that this is specifically related to, and then we can add some related photos to that. So maybe that's what we can do down here in this section, is add a photo and related content about the area where this might be provided. So we're going to save this, and that concludes our first episode of the Balsam Broadband. Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and we'll see you in the next episode.